by you, but I would really plead that you bear with us under such circumstances. But our apologies are indeed very sincere that you have been here for so many hours. But what we are going through is also critical, and we would like to be able to communicate to you when we are ready with certain issues. But let me just point out that one of the things we have done today is that we have had a formal meeting with the chairman of the IEBC, with several of his commissioners, and we have formally delivered a letter expressing our disappointment, but at the same time pointing out certain serious irregularities and anomalies that we want them to look into immediately. And we shall be giving you a copy of that letter that we have delivered to the IEBC. It is stamped, showing that they have acknowledged receipt of it, and we have made some very specific demands in that letter, which will be attached to the statement that I'm going to read to you. And this is a statement which is a briefing on the 2017 presidential election, and I'm speaking on behalf of NASA. Fellow Kenyans, yesterday we called the attention of the country to the appalling and incontrovertible information that the results published by the IEBC through their National Tally Center are a fraud and based on a hacked system that is intended to publish a predetermined outcome. The least we expected from the Commission was to undertake an investigation of our claims. Indeed, yesterday, the chairman of the IEBC promised that they would investigate into the hacking of their system and servers. Given the importance and urgency of the matter, the IEBC should have by now informed the country of the outcome of the investigations. We have now received further information from confidential IEBC sources furnishing us with the actual presidential election results contained in their database. The data, which confirms the authentic and legitimate results of the presidential election, shows that the two leading candidates obtained the following votes: Raila Odinga, 8,041,726 votes; Uhuru Kenyatta, 7,755,428 votes. Screenshots of the results as displayed, at least at the time of us putting our papers together, on the IEBC website and monitors at Bomas show the following results. Uhuru Kenyatta stood at 8,056,885, and Raila Odinga stood at 6,659,493. Evidently, the accurate and lawful results in the presidential elections is the transmission received from the polling stations and contained in the IEBC servers, and not the unverified displays. Based on the foregoing, we demand that the IEBC chairperson announce the presidential election results forthwith and declare the Right Honorable Raila Odinga and His Excellency Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka as the duly elected President and Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, respectively. We are releasing to the media and the public the undoctored, authentic, and legitimate results of the presidential election as contained in the IEBC server. This will be circulated before you leave. Yes, I'll just display. This is a copy of the letter that has gone to Chebukati. And maybe I'll read it aloud. Mr. Chairman, Article 86 of the Constitution requires as follows. At every election, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission shall ensure that A, whatever voting method is used, the system is simple, accurate, verifiable, secure, accountable, and transparent. B, the votes cast are counted, tabulated, and the results announced promptly by the presiding officer at each polling station. C, the results from the polling stations are openly and accurately collated and promptly announced by the returning officer. And D, appropriate structures and mechanisms to eliminate electoral malpractice are put in place, including the safekeeping of election materials. We have information of the actual presidential election results contained in the IEBC database, and I've just read those out to you. And we have stated that we have annexed the actual and complete data contained in IEBC servers with the serial number DBO Presidential Real Time and the screenshots obtained from the IEBC website itself. We therefore demand as follows, and this is addressed to him, that you stop forthwith the display of unverified and unauthenticated results. 2, that you allow political parties to download all the forms of 34A and forms 34B to enable them to verify them expeditiously. It is practically impossible for political parties to verify all the 41,000 documents with only 2 terminals that the IEBC is providing. 3rd, we demand that Raila Odinga and Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka be declared president and deputy president respectively. We shall also be releasing to you the printout, the data from the server itself, and the screenshots, which are here. But those are also on the website. Thank you. So if there's any quick question.
So why are you releasing these results before the final results have actually been brought out?
Can you divulge your source? I think for credibility's sake.
Can you tell us the polling stations and constituencies?
You want to be the head of state. A person who wants to be a head of state must command credibility. Can you divulge the name of your source so that as journalists we can verify the source? Because anybody can come with unfounded allegations for our own credibility in terms of us reporting.
I think we have gone through that bit. It's an issue that was raised earlier in the previous press conference, and we did say that following the experience we have seen in the situation of Chris Musando, we are also going to be very careful that we are not going to release names of our source.
Please, can you tell us the polling stations and constituencies where you believe that?
But the printout that you're going to get indicates all the counties, all of them, throughout the republics. Yes, they are all tabulated.
Will you submit the name to the courts of law? Will you submit the name of your source to the courts of law? Because the courts of law operate on rumors.
When we get, I'm sorry, that's unfortunate that you're saying that this is a rumor.
No, I'm just saying.
I think you're being unreasonable there, because you cannot jump to the conclusion that my statement is a rumor. I'm trying to respond. All right? So the question is that when we are told at the appropriate time whether it is within a court of law, then we shall present our evidence.
Sir, so what next?
Excuse me. We shall have an orderly press conference, and I'll point at you, ask your questions. We are ready to answer all the questions, and don't repeat the questions that were asked yesterday. And you introduce yourself.
Yes.
We know that some people have got an agenda here, And if you want to state your case, you can state it elsewhere. But if you want your questions to be answered, be precise, and tell us where you come from. Can I go to the back there?
Mr. Mudavadi, John Akenby from the Financial Times. The IEBC has not yet said it's received all the Form 34As and 34Bs, but you're saying that you have the final result. Are you suggesting that the IEBC is lying, that it has received all the forms? Or how can you explain how you are reaching these numbers if the IEB says it has not received all the forms?
By the way, we have stated here that as at the time of writing or collating, those were the figures that were there. And as we speak now, we are also having other situations where others are trying to declare and say that the IEBC should make a declaration. Okay? So our position is not different, but we are stating very clearly that we have collated up to this point in time.
So these are not final results, you're saying?
These are as good as being final, I can tell you that.
Even though the IEBC has not received all the forms?
One question.
Yeah. IEBC will make its declaration, but we are pointing out the facts that are before us.
Yes, quick question.
Down here.
Alvin Simpier from the SABC. Mr. Odinga, if you could please come forward. Millions of people, Kenyans, have voted for you, whether it is according to your results or whether it's according to the IEBC's results. What's your message to Kenyans right now that you've said, and NASA has said, that these results are not legitimate?
I think if he's going to speak, I would like to say that Honorable Raila Odinga will speak after the final declaration is made. But we are speaking as NASA, and we are stating that we want to be able to release to you what we are collating and what we are putting together. That is the point that we want to relay across here. And we are indicating to you that even within our own system, we had our tallying process. And we are juxtaposing and looking at the facts as they are and what we are getting.
And as NASA, what's your message to Kenyans then? As NASA? What are you saying
I think on this particular issue, the message to Kenyans was that remain calm. We did say that. Our Deputy President did say very clearly that Kenyans should remain calm.
What do you direct to your members who have won the election? And number two, do you have 34A forms from all your agents from the polling station?
I can tell you we have collected a very large number of such forms. But it's also, I believe, within your own purview that certain areas up to now, like if you listen to the statement I read here, we still have situations where even in Bungoma, as we speak, believe you me, the results were counted. One of our principals, namely Honorable Wetangula, the results were very clear. Up to this time, they have not formally announced the results in Bungoma. And yet, they have announced the results in a much wider constituency in the name of Nairobi County in terms of numbers. So we are seeing some of these things, and we are saying that these delays sometimes are also an indicator that there's a serious attempt to try and either doctor or alter the actual results.
Yeah, just a moment.